We've all been there, right? A frantic user on the line, a server that's practically on fire, and a clock that just won't stop ticking. But what if I told you there's a secret weapon that can turn these daily firefights into, well, productive collaborations? Today, we are unpacking that exact weapon. It's a powerful communication technique that's going to completely transform your most challenging IT support calls.
Yeah, that probably sounds a little too familiar. If you've ever worked a service desk, this isn't some hypothetical scenario. It's just Tuesday morning. It is super high stress. It's frustrating for everybody involved, and it's a daily reality. The user is panicking, and look, your first instinct is probably to get defensive or just start rattling off solutions. But what if there's a better way? A way to not only solve the technical problem, but to actually build a stronger relationship with that user in the process. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The tool that can solve this exact problem comes from a world where communication is, and I'm not kidding, literally a matter of life and death. FBI hostage negotiation. I know, it sounds intense, right? But the principles are unbelievably effective for de-escalating any tense situation, whether it's a bank robbery or a broken printer.
And this is the core idea: tactical empathy. Let's be really, really clear about what this is. This is not about being nice or soft. It's a deliberate technique, a skill designed to understand the other side's position so you can build influence based on trust and ultimately guide the conversation to a better outcome.
And this slide illustrates the single most important distinction. Empathy is not sympathy. You don't have to agree with someone's anger. You don't even have to like their tone. You just have to show that you understand their perspective. Think about it like this. Sympathy is saying, I feel your pain. Empathy is saying, I see your pain. One is about you, the other is about them. Tactical empathy is all about seeing their pain. So think of it this way. Tactical empathy is a neutral but incredibly powerful instrument. In your hands on the service desk, it's a tool for diffusing anger, for building genuine rapport, and for actually solving the user's problem way more effectively. It's the difference between being a problem solver and just a problem avoider.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Let's move on to the single most effective, most actionable technique in the entire tactical empathy toolkit. It's something you can use on your very next call, and it's called labeling. And here's the cool science behind why this works. When you call out a negative emotion, when you give it a name, you literally throw a bucket of cold water on the fire in someone's brain. Brain scan studies show that when you identify an emotion someone is feeling, the activity in their amygdala, that's the fear and anxiety center, it actually decreases. It's kind of like a Jedi mind trick, but it's backed by hard science. It's an absolute game changer. The process itself is incredibly simple. Step 1, listen. Listen past the words and hear the underlying emotion. Are they frustrated, anxious? Do they feel ignored? Step 2, you vocalize that observation. You give it a label. And then step 3, and this part is absolutely crucial, you shut up. You just be quiet. Let the label land. That silence gives them a moment to process it, to confirm it, and to calm themselves down. So what do you actually say? You start with these neutral observational phrases. It seems like. It sounds like. Notice what's missing? The word I. You're not saying, I think you're angry, which can totally sound like an accusation. You're just observing their world. It sounds like you're under a lot of pressure with that deadline. That small shift makes it collaborative, not confrontational. And that's the key to unlocking a much more productive conversation. Okay, so this next part is, well, it's pretty counterintuitive. It actually goes against everything we've been taught about sales, service, and persuasion. We're going to have to rewire a fundamental instinct you have in pretty much every conversation, and it all starts with one little word. So, what is that one word? Think about it. It's yes. We are all dangerously addicted to hearing the word yes. We think it means we're making progress, that we're getting agreement, but chasing yes is actually one of the biggest traps you can fall into in any interaction. And here's why. It's because there are 3 different kinds of yes, and most of the time, we're getting the wrong one. You know, a user might just say yes, yes, yes to get you off the phone. That's a counterfeit yes. Or they might give you a confirmation yes, like, yes, I did restart my computer. But what we really want, the real deal, is that commitment yes. And the problem is, chasing it directly usually just gets you the other 2, which creates false hope and a lot more frustration later on. So here's the big takeaway. Stop chasing yes and start making it safe for people to say no. It feels weird, I know, but when someone says no, they feel like they've protected themselves. They feel like they're in control.
And paradoxically, that is the moment they relax and become more open to listening and collaborating with you. No is not a dead end. It's the doorway to a real conversation.
All right, let's bring these pieces together. How does labeling emotions and embracing the word no actually turn a heated, angry call into a real partnership? Well, it all comes down to two simple words.
This right here, this is the breakthrough moment you are aiming for in every single conversation. You're right is a brush off. It's what people say when they want you to stop talking. But that's right. Ah, that's gold. That's right is the sound of someone feeling completely and totally understood. It is the sign that you've connected and they are now ready to work with you, not against you. So let's go back to our frantic user from the beginning. Instead of jumping in with, yes, I understand, let me check the ticket, imagine you pause and you say, it sounds like this server issue has completely derailed your day and put your deadline at huge risk. What are they going to say? That's right. In that single instant, you go from being part of their problem to being an ally who truly gets it. The entire dynamic of the call shifts. You're no longer just an IT guy. You're a trusted advisor. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. First, remember, empathy is about understanding their world, not agreeing with it. Second, use labels like "it seems like" to instantly bring the tension down. Third, make it safe for people to say no. That's how you build real trust. And finally, listen for that magic phrase, "that's right," as the sign that you've really, truly connected. These aren't just tips. They are powerful tools that will transform every interaction you have. And this is why this all matters so much, beyond just a single support ticket. Using these skills consistently doesn't just solve problems in the short term, it builds your reputation, it builds trust. It transforms your role from just a help desk agent into a valued, trusted partner in your organization. It's the difference between being seen as a cost center and a true value creator. Thank you so much for watching. Look, the biggest barrier to learning any new skill is just feeling awkward at first. So don't be afraid to be a little uncomfortable. Go out there and road test this stuff. On your very next call, just try using one label. See what happens. You might be really surprised at the result. Because when you master the art of tactical empathy, you're not just closing tickets. You're opening doors to better relationships, better outcomes, and honestly, a much more fulfilling career.